calling the energy inward. Calling it inward and bringing it up through the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands, up the limbs into the trunk of your body. Take a few breaths, call it in, feel the energy moving inward and upward. And drawing inward, 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 inward to the spine itself. And then moving to the very central channel, the very epicenter of your spine. And from the base, from the Muladhara, from the Saturn center, the base of your spine, easy, effortlessly, as you breathe in, feel the radiance. Feel the radiance collecting and moving up from the Saturn to the few inches above, to the Jupiter, to the water, up into the Mars, the belly button. Bring it up to your heart, the Venus, up to the Mercury at the throat, settling in at the Sun center. And here's where we continue the alchemical process as we breathe in and out through the Sun center. We're breathing in the radiance, the qualities of awakening, so that all that we have brought up, all that we have brought inside and brought up to this pinnacle of awareness at the Sun center is saturated with the qualities of the Sun center, of awakening, of balance, of radiance. Of Aham Brahmasmi, you are the creative principle. You are the awakened one. And breathing in and breathing out here. And there's an old tale that you've certainly heard before, and let it spark potentially a deeper understanding. Once in a kingdom far away, there was a Hydra, and this was a fearsome being that lived in the swamp, and it had, out of the swamp rose this long neck, and then the head had this big eye and multiple eyes around it. And whoever would be blasted with a glance of the Hydra would be exterminated. This many-headed beast or monster was believed. And so the king, the ruler of the land, it could have been the queen, if she was ruling. But the ruler of the land called forth all the knights, and one after another, they came and they tried to slay that Hydra, and they'd take their sword and they'd hack the head off, only to find another one, and another one would sprout. And so that poor knight was defeated, and it happened again and again and again and again and again, until finally a young person came up and said, "Excuse me, I'd like to try my way with the Hydra." And the king simply laughed and said, "Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Everyone else has failed. You might as well try." So this young person went into the mud with the Hydra and reached up and pulled all the heads way out of the mud, so they were up in the light of day. And he held them there. Or maybe she held them there. She held them there. And one by one, in the radiance of the light, in the radiance of the sun, the heads drooped and died until there was a single head on the Hydra left. And that head broke open, and inside was a sparkling, radiantly beautiful jewel. And this radiant jewel, this diamond of a jewel, sparkled in all directions. We all have multiple parts of our personalities, of our karmas, of what we are here this lifetime to understand and learn. And sometimes we can't deal with all those parts, the scary parts, the hurt parts, the sad parts, those angry, violent parts. And so, being frail, fallible human beings, we try to cut that one off. Cut off anger. I don't have that anymore. Cut off sadness. I don't want that anymore. Cut off all of the ones that are disruptive. And that only causes more to sprout up. So here we are in the practice of bringing our awareness up to the light, up to the sun center, up to the radiance, excluding none. And yet, those all-powerful parts of the heads, those multiple heads, they shrink back. They become reabsorbed in the whole, and the radiance grows even brighter and brighter and brighter. So here we are on the path of owning all the heads, all the parts of ourselves, bringing them on home, calling them back in, breathing with them, no longer pushing them away or burying them or striking out at them, calling them all back home. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. From what was in the mud, once we let that mud settle down, we can see the beauty, the radiance, the supreme reality, sparkling ever new. And breath upon breath, we are nourished. And all the parts are born more deeply, deeply, deeply into balance. They don't have to act out when they're seen and brought back in. Brought back in. Now we were chanting the name of Ram and the all-important Sita, the feminine energy that activates the Ram, that state of awakening. As we sit together, allowing all your multiple bodies to ever more deeply be filled with ease and total well-being. And effortlessly breathing in and out of what appears to be the portal of your sun center. The all-seeing eye, sometimes it's known as. And it's right there. It's something to simply relax into. Gently hold our awareness here. And as always, we ask all the awakened ones, all those states of consciousness, the Great Spirit and the Divine Mother, all the Bodhisattvas. We ask absolute goodness, 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 goodness. The Holy Kriya lineage, your teachers and their lineage, to breathe with us. And in their compassion, in their infinite compassion, support us in a manner that we may feel supported and nurtured, breathing in and breathing out.